Yo, 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 good morning. What's poppin', you guys? Uh-oh. All right, there we go. Oh my god, I don't know why that was in the middle of our screen. It's on the 5 minutes turning bullish, so that's pretty good. We might see it pick up some steam in the next hour, but this is really nice. It's really good to see. Nothing significant on the dark pool. Premiums, bears are in control, so that's pretty cool. Jimmy trying to break out here. What's it look like on the 15? Yeah, we are breaking out again on the 15. This is really good. It's kind of like the move that you saw here, but it's just happening here, so that's really good. So once you break out of Metric Pro, then we should see some nice upside, and you are breaking the 50 line on the RSI. MACD are having almost a bullish cross, so that's pretty decent. That's pretty good. All right, so GME breaking above Metric Pro right now, at least on the 15 minutes. So this is really bullish. That's what you want to see. So for times that we did break out, I mean, it's only been roughly three times. 1, 2, and then 3. And you can see that these have led to some nice upsides here. So this was 15. This was almost 5, 4.15. And hopefully that goes up again. The thing that I'm looking at is, where are my fibs? So the thing that I'm looking at is we're just right at that golden pocket and we're trying to break above it and we're having a hard time. So tested 1, 2, 3 times, probably go in for a 4th time and we'll see if we can break above it. If we can break above it, we'll close this gap and return to DFV's cost basis. The dark pool right now has nothing. Yeah. But so far, this is where we're at right now. All right, so we got that candle close above. That's good. That's bullish. Or we opened up a candle above. That's good. So nothing too significant yet. Let's look at some other things. Kind of interested to see where Place is. Children's Place. It's really funny. Oh no. Well, it's just trying to base around the 382. See Chewy. Okay, so Chewy's basing at that 236. But we talked earlier about how Chewy needs to, coming from here, needs to come down and use the resistance as new support. And right now it's just not doing that. Actually fell below resistance, so. But hopefully maybe we see something like this and then a bounce off, fill that gap, and then head to the top side. Actually, well, let's look at Unity. What's happening over there? Okay, so Unity flip bearish on the 15. But once this metric pro starts to come back down, the one in the yellow, and you break above metric pro plus, then I think we'll see some more upside. Yeah, on the 90-minute, you did break below metric pro, so would probably expect a test of 19 area down here. Possibly fill this gap. Well, 65 would be the first one you need to look at. Yeah, so right now, guys, talk about GME in a sec, but yeah, Unity's trying to come down now. I'd expect it to come at least down to the 236 at 2065, and then if you fall below that, come test metric pro. Then if you continue to fall lower, well, these are the lowered fib targets, so but hopefully find support down here. But yeah, so GME trying to break above metric pro here. It's just, wow, it's just having a hard time. What's on the dark pool? Something significant? No, nothing yet. Premiums, the bears are just in full control. But yeah, if there's anything you guys want me to look at, throw it in the chat. We'll look at it together. But yeah, Jamie just trying to break out of metric pro right now, and it's just not doing it. Well, it does have 8 minutes to close, so if we start to, oh no, well, it's going down now. It's not working, guys. It's not working. Technical analysis doesn't work. But yeah, it is nearing a MACD cross though, but we'll see if that develops into something. At least it's on the 15. On a 90 minutes, still pretty bullish. Like nothing bearish yet. If I start to see like this kind of action over here, where the line comes up here and then price breaks below, then I'd probably be like, okay, we're gonna have to look like to the downside, you know? But hasn't happened yet. On the 90 minute, Okay, yeah. On the 90-minute, the MACD is bearish. It is getting closer to a MACD bear cross there. So that's not that great. RSI is still above 50, so that's nice to see. Has left the bull zone though. So, but yeah, right here at the golden pocket, this is serving as a strong point of resistance right now. So at least you tested it with 1 bar, 2, 3, 4, 5. You had 5 bars. And you just couldn't do it. You gotta remember, guys, the max pain for this week, I believe, is 2050. Let me just double check that really quick. So the max pain for this week is 21. All right, so it's bumped up a little bit. So there you go. Max pain is at 21. So that's pretty interesting. SPY turning bearish. You are just still putting a higher low though, so nothing super bearish about this on the 15. Yeah, SPY's bearish on the 15, but the overall bigger time frame is not super bearish yet. The moment you start to see price break below metric pro, then you'll probably be like, okay, SPY's probably gonna come down like $6. But right now on the 15, so far you've just made higher highs and higher lows. Maybe. So if it comes down and breaks below kind of like this range, I'll probably be concerned. But comes at 5, 6, 7. Hasn't happened yet though. And that happens to be where metric pro lies. Yeah, what you want to see for continuation of an uptrend. I mean, technicals over here are kind of bearish, but it's your low, high, higher low, then make a higher high somewhere here and just smash that. But we're not quite there yet. Otherwise, if we break into the low side, if it breaks below metric pro down here, you would have your high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then you just continue the pattern. Then, you know, come and fill the gap. But we'll see. We'll see where SPY goes to. We'll react. And Jimmy at 2040. Wow. Premiums come in. What's coming in? Let's see. 11, 12. This just came in. The 30 calls are pouring in. Oh! Folks, 30 calls are pouring in. Someone's bullish. What is this? Okay. And this? Okay. So we are seeing some bullish premiums come in. Dark pool, no, nothing yet. But yeah, that's what that increase was. So let's see if the bulls can regain control. Yeah, on the 15, GME is breaking out the metric pro. Let's see. Again, this is a strong point of resistance. Oh my goodness, this drawing is absolutely terrible. This is a strong point of resistance, so let's see if we can break this right now. If we can break it, you'll definitely fly to 23. And on the 15, RSI is bullish, just left, or just broke above 50. And MACD is curling up. Nothing yet on the dark pool. Another 30 call came in. Wow. Wow. Yo, Matthew, what's up, brother? On the road today, can't chat, but we'll be watching. Really want to close above 2250 today. Go GME. Hell yeah. Let's go. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, some 30 calls are pouring in. This is really interesting, you guys. Gonna post this. This is really interesting. Okay. Yeah, GME slowly trying to get above here. Well, it's trying. Can't say it's not trying. But yeah, on the 90-minute, it's just not. You're nearing completion of that bear. You know, bear on the MACD. All right, let's take a look at the higher time frames. Let's look at the 1 hour, or 4 hours. Sorry, 4 hour. You're almost having that that cross, so that's really good. Above the 0 line. Okay. Then the daily. Yeah, the daily we did generate a strong MACD signal. So it's not the lighter shade of green. Still dark. That's really good to see. And you're making your way up to cross the 0 line. So that's awesome and cool. RSI hasn't done much. It's just plateaued. All right, on the weekly. Nice. It's coming. Bounced off the 50 line and just making its way up. So it is developing, guys. It's developing. Wow, the 15-minute looks bullish, but the 90-minute looks bearish. Someone explain that to me. So if the 90-minute looks bearish, it's either we push up here, hit resistance, and then come back down, or something comes in and we're just going to go to the moon. But yeah, right now net premiums, bears are still in control by about 240,000. Wow. A 40 call came in as well. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at this wrong. I have to look at this page here. Those are the smaller options contracts. But yeah, okay. I mean, this ain't chunk change. Like, you know, it's 12K there, 13K there, another 13K. That's something. Then down here earlier too, again, 41K. Is this some sort of whale like loading up on 30 calls for GME? It's quite out of the money. Well, we'll find out. We will dissect this. Yeah, premium's starting to go back up again. Are we missing something? Okay, yeah, this is what we were missing. But this is kind of, these are small orders though, like 180 bucks. Like anyone can make this. So right now GME not really doing much. SPY not doing much either. Had a small bounce off of Metric Pro there. And Place just coming back down to the 382. So if you're able to hold 382, then push higher to 23, 25. So it could be a potential 50% plus move. But we'll find out. So far, it's not bad. If you break below the 382 and break below somewhere here, then I'd probably be concerned. Because you, in an uptrend, right? You made your low, high, higher low, higher high. Did you make your higher high here? No, you didn't. Well, higher high. And higher low. Or at least within this range. Oh, that's on just the 15-minute, so. Oh no, Jimmy. Wrong way, buddy. You're going the wrong way. So now the bulls are just 100,000 away in premium. So this is gearing up for maybe a nice power hour. But we have seen the bulls take control before and really nothing's happened, so we'll see. All right, so there's a 10,000 size block right there. Not really that interesting. Maybe if I start to see something above 30K, you know. Did the MACD is bearish, surprisingly. I mean, it's almost completing a bear cross. So, yeah. Let's look at this on the minute. The minute is just so hard to look at because there's just barely any volume. Like his price is just, or the bars are just jumping around. Maybe we'll just look at the 5. It's a little bit easier on the eyes. So this example right here is exactly why you should set a tight stop loss if you're trading. Because if you did see a breakout here, right? And this is just on the 5 minute. So if you did take a position here, where it did start to see a stronger candle, set a tight stop loss, right? Whatever it may be, and just follow this line. If it does start to break below, then you can stop out. Yeah, this price action is kind of interesting. This does look like a flag though, like kind of flagging out on the 15. Wow, surprisingly enough, that brings you to close the gap. Okay, we'll see. Could be something. I want to see another 30 call come in here. That hasn't happened yet. What is this, Unity? Oh my god, Unity just decided that it wasn't going to die today. Wow. That's incredible. With that was a strong reaction. Holy shit. Still down on the day, but that was like, what a candle though. Oh, SPY's bouncing off right there. So SPY on the 15 is looking bullish. Or it's getting bullish. I mean, you're breaking above your trend line on the RSI. Trying to break above 50. MACD doesn't look too bright yet, but yeah, the bulls are creeping back in. Give me another 30, come on. Just waiting for that one to come in, right? Yeah, so SPY. Wow, what a reaction. So if you do break this range, expect to at least come back up to 571.89 and just really try to make another higher high. But that's pretty interesting there. I feel like I gotta constantly refresh this page just to find out if there's an under 30 call coming in, because that's really interesting. All right, I'm gonna go check the whale feed just to see what's been happening. See if they start to come in on this thing. Let's see. Okay. Well, there's a slight tick up in. Okay, so here I'll post this. Nothing too crazy though. 21s though, that's kind of nuts. Wow, what a sharp decline in premium. What is that? They decided, nah, you know what, it wasn't worth it. What the heck? Yeah, GME doing absolutely nothing. Okay, SPY's turning. Oh, no. Still below Metric Pro Plus. I was gonna say it's turning bullish, but it's not quite there yet. Hmm. Well, this is not really that what I wanted to see. But on the 90 or 90 minutes. Yeah, the 90 minutes, it doesn't look that great. Well, still nearing a. So I just don't think GME is gonna have that pop that we wanted. Just hit resistance and then did nothing. Chewy still basing at the 236 here. SPY trying to be bullish, but just having a hard time. Seven, 4, 1. Ain't that interesting? On the daily, yeah, trying to get above Metric Pro Plus. Still is above it, so that's good, by barely by a few cents. $90 minutes. Again, you're completing that bear cross. You're almost there. So maybe going into power hour. Yeah, on a daily, kind of want to see GME close above 22.32. So right now it's just a few cents short from falling below it. But yeah. Taking a look at the 15, it is falling down lower, so I would expect to at least come down and test 22.16. Trying to break above this range over here, the golden pocket is, that's pretty difficult. So you had 1 test, 2, 3, 4, right? So even if you do get back up above here, I would expect like maybe another bounce back down. And the bulls are not even in control, so make that move up a little bit more difficult. Oh, whoops. So place actually bouncing off of that 382, I think. So yeah. So there's a small bounce right there. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. So just 15 more minutes. Then we're gonna get into power hour. Right now it's just been a slow and boring day. Nothing's really happening. GME trending lower. Yeah, nothing much to report on today, you guys. It's 15-minute. Broke below the 50 on the RSI, trending lower on the MACD. Yikes. So I would expect GME to come down to 2216. All right, the 1 minute is shaping up to be something. So if we do have a breakout in the RSI, could push up, break the 50, and push higher. But we'll see. Wow. On the 1 minute, GME is so liquid. Like, just take a look at that. Yeah, you would expect like bars to look like this. And when you move more over here, it's just like dots flying around on your screen. Yeah, on the 1 minute, if you can get back above Metric Pro, break out of this zone, I think you're looking pretty decent heading into power hour. And the 5 minute, what does the 5 minute look like? 5 minute, the 5 minute looks absolutely horrible, but it is what it is. On the 15, that looks bearish. Yeah, like I would expect price to come back down. And test metric pro here plus on the 15. 22.17. It's probably what I'd keep my eyes on. Yeah, bulls decided they didn't want to compete anymore after this point. Wow, what a slow day today, hey guys? That's kind of crazy. Interesting. But yeah, nothing's really happening on GME. Just having a very slow push to the downside. Dark pool, nothing right now. Premiums, oh shit. Okay, so some premiums came in. Okay, a 22 call came in. It expires in a few days, so probably someone's just like looking to flip this or something. The 50 a minute, yeah, the MACD is just not looking too great. $22.30 now. So yeah, I would expect Jamie to come down to this range here. Chewy basing at the 236, so that's good to see. Place basing at the 382. Unity trying to push above, deciding where to go. Spy above metric pro plus, so that's in of itself bullish. But breaking above metric pro, the one in the yellow line, is going to be even more bullish because then you'll get price action. Kind of looks like this. But yeah, max pain at 21, guys. So they're going to try to do everything in their power to bring it lower before Friday. On the 90 minutes, what are we looking at? Not bearish yet. Once I start to see this yellow line, Symmetric Pro come up here, and then the price come below it, might not be good, but so far this is what we're looking at. This is what we're playing with. So how's everyone's day today? How's everyone's afternoon? Hope it's better than what we're looking at over here. Yep, it's not too great. SPY breaking down a little bit now. Tried to hold Metric Pro Plus, but if this continues to break below, then we're going to need to load up some of that Fibonacci's. Right? This move down can be invalidated. All it has to do is just get back up above this yellow line. But, you know, if it doesn't do that, then I'm expecting this. All right, officially 2 minutes away, folks, from power hour. All right. So 14,000 block came in. A little bit higher than usual. Still not enough for me to, you know, swing my head and be like, what is that? Well, both decided they wanted to come back. Just a little bit. All right, so before power hour starts, we'll take a quick washroom break. Quick bathroom break. I'll be back. Alright, folks. On the 15-minute, I mean, it still doesn't look too bright. On the 5-minute, it does look like it's coming back up slowly. No, it's not. Yeah, on the 15-minute, I mean, for the power hour, just don't expect anything too crazy. I mean, this is still holding true. So, we'll see what happens. What is SPY doing? Nothing significant either. Trying to break above metric pro here. Nothing nuts. Dark pool? Nothing. Flow alerts? Nothing. But there's a lot of positivity here, you guys. A lot of positivity. Right? When in doubt, zoom out. Right? They have $4.6 billion in cash and equivalents. And then you realize that they added, 3+ billion to their war chest in just a few months. Like, list me a few companies, right, that have done this. That were like literally on the verge of bankruptcy. I really can't think of any other company that has done this before. All right, how do you read that options flow? Yeah, so for unusual whales, if you load it up, you can sort it out by premium. So this right here on the bottom left, you can sort it out by size. So meaning, if you look at it over here, you notice how the size is like really, really small. There's like 1 order, 2 orders, 4 orders, right? And so the premium, the amount of value that these contracts are worth equate to this. So this is $468 worth of contracts basically. And so if you look at this, you're like, that's not really that significant, right? Like anyone can place these trades. So what I end up doing is I end up sorting it either by 10,000 or 100,000. And so you'll see some of the bigger players in the game and how it's moving. So as you can see, for example, the top one here, the 22.5 call, right? It has a size of 522 with total premium spent of 22,000, right? So this tells you the amount of bull and bear premium. So how many players are playing it, right? Date to expire. So this tells you how far out these dates are, right? Some of these are just 2 days, 9 days, almost 30 days out. But if you look more into the contract, it'll tell you like exactly what's happening. So if you notice, the green bar, right, represents the ask. So these contracts filled at the ask, meaning that they spent, say your range is between, for example, 0.5, right, to 0.10, right? And it fills at 0.10, right? That's filling at the ask. So if you start to see orders come in like this, right? That's like, then you gotta look into it, right? So for example, the 125C, this morning, right? These were sold, right? So it was at the bid and they sold it. They got people got rid of this. And that was part of why, you know, GME sort of dropped in the morning. But yeah, once you start to see like really big orders come through, so let's just put another 0 in there. So these are your 100K premium orders. So as you can see, nothing is below 100K, right? So these are your big players. And you can see like how these contracts are being shifted around, right? And once you start to see really bullish orders come through, right, before prices starts, before price like increases, then you're like, okay, someone out there knows, right? So if the price right now of GME is at 22.29, and then all of a sudden I start seeing like 30 calls come in over here, right? Then 40 calls come in, right? Premium goes up over here, right? And then price starts to slowly get up, then I'd be like, oh shit, someone's gearing up for something. But so far we haven't seen any of that right now. So just a quick way to look at it, right? To distribute the data on a line, you get your green line that represents the bulls, right? So the net call premiums, and then the red represents the bears for the net put premium, and then the yellow line is the price of GME. So once you start to see something like this over here, where the green line gets above the red line, right, that represents that the bulls are in control of the premiums. So this was today. Okay, so let me go here. So over here, it was roughly almost 8:30, right? And the bulls took control. This is Pacific Standard Time. And so when this started to ramp up, right, showcasing that bulls are in control, well, if you go to the price action, this was around 8:30-ish, right? You saw a nice move up. And so you can see these trades come in, just go down to 8:30. Oh, this is, might have sorted that out differently. Take out a 0. So then you go to your trades here, then you look around that time. It's like, what's been happening, right? So someone took in a 52 call at the ask, right? So someone went shopping. And then again over here. But try to look at your technicals too and just see, you know, how things are looking. But typically if a big order does come in, that's when you start to see some nice move to the upside or downside, depending on if people are bullish or bearish. Yeah, so GME playing out just how we talked about the last like hour, where it would be coming down to test this line here. On the 10 is breaking down, so that's not really what you want to see if you want to be bullish. On the 5-minute, not great either. Yeah, in theory you want call premium to be higher. Yeah, that's right. Some price, exactly. Yeah, if the bears have control, like look, the bears have had control since like 9 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. And if you just look at the price action since 9, here, let's just look at a smaller time frame. 9, I mean, look what it's done. Right, look what it's done. It's really done nothing. But yeah, generally, like, when you start to see the bulls take control, let's say like this green line starts to shoot vertical, right? You're like, okay, someone knows something that we don't, right? And you can position yourself accordingly with that trade. So let me try to find an example. Okay, like Unity. So let's go to Unity. This is on the 90-minute, but let me try to find a shorter, smaller time frame. But this isn't going to represent too many things. Like from 8 to 9, that whole 1 hour span, like you only like, you know, but this is kind of like what you want to see in order to gain control of price. But what is this? Let's take a look. Let's take a deep dive look. Today is Wednesday. It's not always the case that that price is going to be really bullish or you're going to see a rally. It's just an indication that the bulls have control. But this was here. I mean, it wasn't that significant, right? Like it wasn't that significant moving up. But they had control. And you can see price like kind of just like teeter-tot down. At the end of the day, what you really want to see that's going to affect price for sure is big orders that come in. Like, so filter it by 100K. If you start to see orders like this come in, that's going to, like these orders here, like all this is going to affect price. But if you start to see like something like this, where it's like all of a sudden you get a pop and then it's not necessarily like an indication that, you know, that price is going to go to the moon right away, right? It's just like, it just means that the bulls are in control of the bullish premiums. Yeah, like if I was looking for like a big trade, so let's just duplicate this. And you look at like Unity, for example, throw in the 100K there. And let's take a look at price action in the last couple days, starting on Monday. So on Monday, what day was that? That was the 23rd. hold on, 20. Or what is this here before? Friday, September 20th. Okay. So on the Friday, just before you started to have a huge rally, right? So if you look here, so Friday's here, right? Right here, this range. Okay. So you look here, and you're like, wow. At the ask, someone started hammering all these calls. Right? This one was $5.68 million in premium. That's a lot. Right? You're looking at this, right? You're like, holy shit. Why is there someone buying, 20 calls that expire 51 days out? Right? Then you look at price and you're like, like, I don't know, it's above Metric Pro and Metric Pro Plus. Like, that's kind of bullish. Right? So you're like, maybe there might be something here, right? You maybe zoom out into the higher time frame, right? So at this point in time, right, nothing too bearish, right? It's all bullish. So you're like, that's interesting. So if you follow this trade, right? If you follow this, you take your measure tool. That was a 13% move from Friday to Tuesday. So that's what I would be looking for, right? Then if you look at the flow alerts and you look at something like this is GME, but if you look at this and you start to see something like this where the bears take control of the premium, you're like, maybe it might not be a good time to buy calls right now. That's just all it's telling you. It's not necessarily like an indication that price will rally to the upside or downside, but more so like either bulls or bears have control. So right now bears have control, and as you're and if you're looking here, really price hasn't really done anything, right? So if you're doing like 0 DTE YOLOs, like you're gonna get burned. Hopefully that made sense there. It appears every time there's a short squeeze, higher GME comes out with an ATM dilution driving price back down. All right. Yeah, no worries, brother. I got you. Okay, let's think about this from just like a company's perspective, okay? All right. Let's load up the charts here. Okay. Let's get rid of all these indicators. Okay? So we're not confused. The team, right, could have diluted at any moment in time somewhere within this range. Right? But they chose to do it over here. Okay? So you have to think to yourself, right? If you're a company, right, and you're looking to transform and you need a lot, and I mean a lot of cash, right? You're not just going to raise it through like, crowdfunding or like, I mean, maybe you could, right? But, investors, right, like big time like angels or like you know, like something like Larry, right? A VC, right? They're not going to come in and just dump all their money into GameStop, right? That's just not a thing. So you have to take advantage of that, right? So if you're looking here and you see your stock go to the moon, okay, you have to capitalize on that, right? You have to capitalize on that move. And that's what they did. Sure, it was shitty. Like, they did it over here, right? Then I think there was one here and then another here, right? Like, look, it was shitty, right? But take a look. Just go back in time for a second, okay? Look at what I've circled so far. Go back in time. Okay. First of all, this, right, range of price action was down here, right? Now we're up here. We're up here now. Okay. So if you do the math really, really quick, okay, the book value per share on GameStop should be around close to $11-ish, like $10.70 to $11. I can't do the math right now, but you should be like here. Okay, this is like your floor. All right, so right now you're trading almost like double that. So let's go back in time. Over here, when everyone thought GME was dying. Okay, they said GameStop is on the brink of bankruptcy. They're not coming back. They're dead. It's over. All right. So that may have been true over here. Okay. And then you got your move, right? 2020, 2021. Right? And over here, from this point on, well, I mean, pretty much starting here, but I mean, this point on, right? Over here, right? GameStop was reducing SG&A. Sales, goods, and administrators. Okay, so that's your expenses. So that was going down, right? So they're rebuilding GME, right? For a path to profitability. In Q2, just jumping around here, but in Q2, right? Earnings right here. Okay, you got your, oh my God. You got your positive EPS. Okay, something that you haven't done in like 7 years. So if they're able to keep it up, and in the next quarter they're able to generate positive free cash flow, positive net income, you're gonna see another episode. Okay, so they're estimating it's negative again, right? Forget about revenue for a second. Think about EPS. Okay. So next earnings positive. Oh my gosh. What am I doing? So next earnings positive, right? And then the next earnings after that is positive. Then you have full profitability. What is happening here? Okay, so you're looking at this and you're like, okay, they diluted. But look at what's happening to price. Price is still rising, right? Draw a line here, right? Clone that shit. Draw a line here, right? And you just keep going, okay? So price, right, is still rising despite the dilution, right? Pricing completely collapsed, okay? Now, if you look at what happened to, you know, no offense, AMC, all right? They shit the bed, all right? They kept diluting all the way down, and there was no demand, and then they're over here at 439. So go back to GME, okay? You know the floor is rising alongside dilutions. That's good. It may not be good for, you know, Ryan Cohen and those guys because they invested a lot of money and they're, you know, they're diluting their own selves. But at the end of the day, price is rising. Price is going up. So the path to profitability is just right around the corner, and the actual transformation process. So everyone's thinking like acquisitions and mergers. Like you got to get to the skeleton first, right? And then add your meat and stuff. Like you got to totally transform first. Like if you start to take on acquisitions and mergers while you're transforming, it might be a little bit more difficult for you because you're taking on somebody else's problem, right? So anyways, long story short, they have no debt. And the last thing you have to think to yourself is the company in a better position now than it was several years ago, despite illusions, right? They've strengthened the balance sheet, okay? They're on a path to profitability. And there are several catalysts that could get this thing going, right? And here we go. GME coming down to Metric Pro Plus on the 15. Just like what we talked about earlier for the last, like literally last hour. Matthew, yeah, saying hello. I'm in New York City. Nice, man, nice. Close above 2250, not looking good. No. We got half an hour left, and we're going to come back down and test 2219. And you can see Metric Pro up here, the one in the yellow is like trending upwards. That's not really what you want to see. RSI is down below 50. That's not great. MACD got a bearish cross. Oh yeah, no worries, no worries. Yeah. Well, everyone should like here. Let me hilariously enough, let me pull up the Seeking Alpha article. I don't know if you guys have seen this. All right. This is just take a look at this for a minute. The title is, did anyone notice GameStop reinvented itself on the latest kitty call? So this guy, Paul Franke, he's been hella bullish on GME, or hella bearish on GME for like literally for forever. And then he was like, I'll show you later. And below he's like, oh, I actually turned bullish. So okay, summary. GameStop's management issued $3 billion, right? Reshaping the balance sheet with $4.2 billion in cash versus just 1.15 in liability. So look, how many companies out there, right, have gained more than $4.6 billion in cash and equivalents in just a few months? I couldn't tell you, right? I couldn't tell you. Positive net income and potentially stronger returns on the reinvestment of its large cash holdings could force Wall Street to reiterate shares much higher. And this guy was freaking bearish on GME. And he's saying this. I mean, this is just one analyst, like, kind of, you know. But look, he might speak for the majority of the bears, right? The reinvented company 12 months from now could be worth materially more than existed in the spring through timely financial engineering decisions. All right. So he talks about how he wasn't in on the 2020-2021 sneeze, then he regretted it. And then look, I have been telling readers to avoid GameStop with its break-even to money-losing operations. That's what he said. He said he's super bear. Okay. Then you go down, and he starts talking about positive things about GameStop, right? So he talks about improved valuation, etc. And then his final thoughts. Okay, so this is the important part. I suppose my point is the logic to be short GameStop no longer exists. The company was already moving toward a break-even operating profit setup at its flagship retail operations on store closings and layoffs. Okay, so that's where you're reducing your SG&A. That's what it means. Then it added an enormous backstop of cash to move into other business fields if management chooses. All right. Ryan now has the ability to scoop up any bargains that appear in the retail or e-commerce or gaming industries at his discretion. One realistic possibility is GameStop morphs into a more diversified holding company with its investments in outside equities and perhaps some smaller, wholly owned units, similar to what Warren Buffett built at Berkshire Hathaway. Today's GameStop is not the same company as existed in the springtime. Okay, so understand that. And it may look quite different again in 12 to 18 months. So, yeah. He says, however, I cannot find a level-headed reason to be bearish with a market capitalization of just 8.5 billion, now 9-ish, against 1.15 billion in total liabilities. I believe GME could deliver 200 million to 250 million in free cash flow using its present configuration over the next 12 months. Close to $200 or $200 million in net pre-tax income from 5% cash yields. That is if they choose to do so. With opportunities to improve upon this sum later in 2025. That's the way I see it anyway. I'm upgrading my GameStop view from hold to a speculative buy for a 12-month outlook. The 200-day moving average around $19 should provide modest technical support. Prices under 15 are rather improbable with roughly $10 in cash per share. So that's what we were talking about earlier, right? If you look at the chart and you calculate your book value, GME should be somewhere down here at 11 or 10. And that's without like investing or doing anything. They're just sitting on cash. But we already know they're improving their operations and all that other stuff. So GME should be valued higher. Right? If you look at companies like Best Buy, but they're like burning cash. Like, how do you have like all these retail stores across the country and then like no one, like barely anybody goes to it? Like I don't know. So, and then it talks about a 200-day moving average. So this is what a lot of people look at, right? Is it above? Is it below? Is there a here, let me just remove this. Is there a golden cross? Is there a bear cross? Okay, so let's take a look here. Let's just use some common sense, okay? So we had our golden cross right here, right? And now both of them are sloping upwards. So that's bullish. Okay. You got caught some downside, but that's all right, right? You're still held by that 200 moving average. Okay. So you went up here and you're now testing and trying to get above the 50 moving average. Okay. Right now, we're not quite up there yet. We kind of rejected, but that's okay. Right? But this here, this is the reason a lot of Wall Street analysts are, this is what they're looking at when they do their DD. So I hope that helped you guys a little bit. It's very hard to find a bear like thesis. Just Everyone says, "Oh, the dilution is bad," but you're like you're solidifying the company. Is it bad for shareholders in the short term? Probably. But look, like I mentioned earlier, price is just increasing, right? And when they did choose to dilute, right, price didn't completely collapse, right? Like if you diluted here, here, and here, right, and then price went this way, well, then you'd probably think, ah, shit, that's bad for me, right? Because price went down. But look, price is going up. So that's just a short, I guess, explanation. Okay, so on the 15-minute, we're breaking below Metric Pro Plus now. So that's not really that great. Not really what you want to see. So on the 90-minute, you did get your bearish MACD cross. So that's kind of bearish. It's not really what you want to see. That's all right. Let's see how the dark pools are looking. Nothing too crazy. Wow, incredible. Yeah, if you're enjoying the video so far, you guys, drop a like. Drop a like. $90 hasn't turned fully bearish yet, but the other smaller time frames did. So what I'm seeing here is if GameStop or if Metric Pro here comes above here like this, do it on yellow, right? Then price breaks below. I would expect it to come up and test this right here. But so far we're not quite there yet. Strong resistance at 22. 66. So this golden pocket area right here. But yeah, earlier, what was this? At 11:30. Oh my gosh. Pacific Standard Time. Around 10 to 11. Said, oh yeah, GME falls below here. We're going to come back down and test this. And we did. So here we are. Short-term catalyst would be if Ryan Cohen starts buying and the insiders start buying, piling up again, right? That could be a short-term catalyst. Roaring Kitty coming back in, showing his YOLO update. That could be a short-term catalyst too. So got a lot of things. Chewy now just based right at the 236 right there. That's kind of nuts. Wow. Would have liked it to be a little bit higher here at resistance than bounce off, but if it continues to fall lower, you're going to come back down to 27, 25. SPY bearish on the 15. So trying to hold the 382 now, which it has several times throughout the day. Yeah, labor data coming out tomorrow. Yeah, it's possibly. Yeah, everyone's kind of just chilling out and, you know, so it's super boring. But yeah, on the larger time frame, right now on the daily. So let me just show you this really quickly. Oh, look at these two candles, eh? That's really funny. So what you want to see on the daily is GME trying to break above metric pro plus here, so the one in the purple line. You can almost consider that almost like your trend line. When you broke above here, it led to some nice gains, right? And then when you did break below, confirmed a really long downtrend, 20%, and it stayed below there for a while. And when you did break above, you saw about an 8 or 9% move to the upside. Then again, 11%, so that's like, let's just say 20% right there. And then we're trying to do it again here, but we need volume. If you look at the past, when you did break above it, so that was 25%. If you did happen to stop out here and get back in, that still would have been 20%. This was about 8, and this was around almost close to 7. So there were some gains to be made. And if you were following the yellow line, which is a little bit more reactive on the daily, it did lead to a lot bigger gains. So this was 13. This was roughly 12. So that was almost 25% just right there. This line right here, you're looking at almost 20. And over here, you're looking at 127. And over here, if you caught this was pretty much the low right here, you guys, right at 11, right? Sure, it wasn't 9 or 10 or whatever, but this is low enough. Caught that move, that's almost a 500% move to the top side. So if you go to the smaller time frames, you can catch the wave a little bit quicker. So like right down here to the peak was 15%, right? Then back here, this was 12. This was 17. So a breakdown below this, right, would send it back down here. Yeah. All right, 10 more minutes, folks. 10 more minutes. But yeah, I don't think GME will do anything spectacular in the last 10 minutes. So yeah, I would expect price, if it breaks below this yellow line on the 90, to come back down here. test this, and if we do bounce, then head back up. If we break the golden pocket, then we can expect a gap fill close. So that's what we're looking at so far. But yeah, I think I might just end it here, you guys. Nothing too crazy. So if you have any questions, just send me a DM on X. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, folks. And we'll be back on tomorrow. All right, we'll see you.